Hi Mahi, how are you today?
Hello, sir. I'm fine. How about you?
I'm good too. I'm good. You must be at the top of the world. I mean, you were already at one level before because you had scored a CLAT All India rank 40, and now you have also scored the ALET rank 45, if I'm correct, right?
Yeah.
And
ALET,
how
I
many?
really did not expect it. CLAT, maybe I expected a bit better, but I'll take it.
It's fine. I mean, being confused amongst two of the best law schools in the country, I think you're spoiled for choice now.
I am actually going to Nalsar most likely. NLS is out of the question. I've kept Nalsar as my first preference. It's mostly between NLUD and Nalsar, but I am leaning towards
But why would you say NLS is out of question?
I did not want to go to NLS mainly due to the TRISEM thing that they have going on. Uh, So that, and also I have a couple of good friends at Nalsar already. So that's
No, okay.
a good base there.
That's a solid reason. I've seen a lot of people your age make a decision based on that, on their friends and their peers for getting into an institution. That's good. So about your career launcher journey, I think as much as I've heard, it's been a mix. So that way you kind of form the ideal target audience for us because you've experienced both the online as well as the offline modes with us, right? And I'm sure the online was because it was almost at the weaning period of COVID, and
Yes,
uh, and then once the classes opened, you shifted over towards offline.
yes, that is true. In the online mode, I think it was more about learning how CLAT is as an examination and less about actually focusing on the examination, which I think is very important because once we understand how the examination works, we can start to develop better strategies to crack it, right? So I think the
Right.
online mode was helpful with that, and the offline mode obviously it went well. And then we started with mocks. I think that was a very crucial juncture because mocks are obviously a very important, let's say, part of our journey in class.
Right, and also the other things like did GK and the Manthan as well as the online once in a while Kandar Prize or sessions and the way aspiration works with quizzes etc. We try to gamify your entire experience so that you
Yeah,
have.
I did see that. So sometimes when I was bored, I would go on to, aspiration.ai and, try to solve as many quiz questions as I could. A lot of the times I wouldn't get many of them correct, but it was okay. GK was always the section I feared the most. For months, I think months are very good if you're trying to select new topics. But as is with any compendium, I think we also need to have our own reason. And that is why a lot of the time I say people for GK, probably you should have a study group of, let's say, 3 to 4 friends who you can really trust. And at least one or two of them should be good at GK from the very beginning because in that sense it gives you a nice room to do some research. And once we start recording the GK in, let's say, a Google Docs or Word document, whatever it is, it helps to revise further, right? So I think from that point it's very important to have a study group.
So you had that study group within the center is what you're trying to tell.
uh yes, indeed. But there was one person who was from a different center but in Hyderabad only, and she was in my school this year. She got AIR 4 actually. Pragnya, I think you
Yes.
might have talked to her.
Yeah.
So yes.
That's great. And also, are you also one of the people who have taken legal studies as an optional in Noble Ready again?
Yes. Legal studies was my optional, and I mainly took it because I was pursuing CLAT. I thought, maybe it will be helpful with the legal concept. I think it is more so theory, so I don't necessarily see a connection because CLAT is more about comprehension. But I would still say it was a fun experience. I enjoyed.
But doesn't it help? And I have seen a lot of students, in fact, saying that contextually, when you look at paragraphs, when you have already studied legal studies a little bit, does help you being familiar to the concepts.
Hmm. I think that is a very interesting point. A lot of the time, what we learn in legal studies is very helpful in marks, because you get topics related to what you have studied. But CLAT is very different, and I think they don't give you the expected topics, which we even saw this year, right? And that is the case every year. So I don't necessarily think that is the case, or maybe at some level it happened subconsciously and I did not feel it. Uh that could be a reason.
And did
But
you attempt the previous years by any chance?
oh yeah, I attempted the previous year papers. I all the way from 2021. In fact, the day I got to know CLAT was even an examination, I attempted 2021's paper. And in that paper, I did not even know what was coming. I did not know there would be an English section or a GK section or anything. In that paper, I think I got a 75 out of 150. And that time I was in 10th. So at first, I was quite disappointed, right? Because I thought I'd do better. But then, I talked to few people, and then I actually went over my score and I realized, you know what, for a first mock, if I didn't know anything, what to expect, I think that's a good score. So after that, I think later on, after joining Career Launcher, I did 2022's paper. At that point, mocks had not started for us. So I did 2022's paper. In that one, I had gotten around 83. I remember one teacher was there in our center, Tejas sir. He was a very I think he really gave me a lot of confidence, because after seeing the score, I sat down with him and he said that, you know what, you can come, you can have a discussion with me. So I went to have a discussion with him. He didn't explain me much about what my mistakes were and all, because that wasn't the focal point, right? I hadn't even started one. What he did tell me was, if you're getting 83 in 2022's paper, I expect you to get a rank which is good enough for NLS in 2020. And then he pointed at the poster behind him of one guy who had gotten selected in NLS and said, I want you to be in this. So I think that really gave me a lot of confidence to move forward. And when mock started, I think that's what helped me.
So other than him, are there other faculty or members of CL, or the entire system of CL that way? Would you like to thank anyone from it?
Yes, obviously. I think I Murthy sir. In fact, he was the first one who called me from CL after my results and all. In fact, and also he was the first person to take our offline class. He's a very fun teacher, and I think if anyone is studying in Amirpet, please do not miss his classes. It is absolutely amazing to learn from him. Yes, sir. He was our legal faculty. A lot of the time he was busy, but when he would come, it would be very fun, because his stories and the kind of stories he tells, I can't. So Chaitanya sir for maths. So we had a lot of good teachers from that point of view.
Great. And also, just for students who want to join and want to understand how much time does it take, it's very essential to begin their journey into CLAT. So would it be like 2 years? Should they start at class 10? Now that it's shifted to December, should they start early? What do you think would be the best time to join?
I think that is a very interesting thing. If you're starting at class 10, I think I always because I joined in class 10. I feel if someone joins in class 10, I really feel they have a very good shot at cracking CLAT, even if they don't start up early. But maybe that's just my bias because I joined it. The thing is, I don't think you necessarily need to join in class 10 or even class 11. A lot of the time, it also depends on you, because your comprehension skills is what matters. So if you're already coming off of good reading speed and you are able to comprehend things properly, then maybe you can join a little later and still crack CLAT. I have seen people who have done it within 6 months. I have seen people who have, you know, they have been at it for 2 years and they've not been. So I think it is a very much an individual choice. But if someone feels comfortable joining 2 years, 2 years earlier, that is definitely, I think I would personally recommend it.
Okay. And amongst all the tools of CL, which of them worked really well for you before the examination?
I would say 100% the mocks. I think CL mocks are probably the most accurate mocks we can find for CLAT. It's a different topic that maybe this year the paper was very unexpected and stuff. But for any other year, I think CL's mark fit the best, genuinely. Um, so I think it's also important to analyze the marks. Obviously, you can't just keep doing marks brainlessly. But if you have a mentor, or even if you analyze them individually, I never had a mentor from that point of view. Even if you analyze them individually, I think it's very important to analyze. But from a CL point of view, definitely the marks. I think they are brilliant. The way they frame the questions and everything, I think it's fine.
Great. And by any chance, when at what point do you think you would zero in on choosing between NLU Delhi and Nalsar?
In my mind, the decision is already made, but my parents are talking to a bunch of relatives and all. So maybe, I mean, I'll hear them out. I'll hear their opinion out.
But
But
in your, what do you think would be the pros and cons of both the institutions, just as to the information you know?
I have heard NLU Delhi's campus rules are pretty strict. And I've personally visited Nalsar's campus twice because once for ALET, once for CLAT. I think it's a beautiful campus. Honestly, it is a very lush and green campus, and
Right.
I would love to spend 5 years there.
That's amazing to hear. All right, Mahi. I think we've been able to understand. We're also feeling the entire enthusiasm that you're showing to get into the legal career. We wish you all the best, and we
Thank you.
hope you have a wonderful career ahead. From on behalf of all of CL, I wish you all the best and an amazing contemporary legal professional that you're going to be in the future. All right. Welcome to the profession,
Thank
and
you.
all the best.